So I went back and forth about whether or not I would do another live right now. People keep, well, not people. I have a very, very respected person in my life who put up with me for a few months. Her and her husband when I lived in Washington, D.C. The end of my college years. And they don't probably know this, but they taught me a lot about being accepted. And um, those people I never met just took me into their house and like carried my stuff in for me and took me to church and helped me find my car when it was stolen and just I had previously belonged to a church in my hometown looking at you Niagara Falls dump that was of the same denomination. It was the Assembly of God. And I'd only been there for several years because that's not where I grew up. I grew up in a fantastic church. I think they call it New Covenant Church now. It used to be called New Covenant Tabernacle, so whatever. It's over there in Tonawanda, and just love the place. And in fact, it's I think I think their pastor staff still includes some people that I'm close with or was during high school and during those years, and still someone I consider a good friend. Um, and but for a while I was at this other church, and I don't, you know, churches can be such cesspools. And there were some fabulous people at this church. And I'd love to say names right now, but I have the feeling that I'd forget a few people. Um, but it was not a place of love. It was not a place where you could feel like you were accepted. In fact, I wasn't. I was really blue collar compared to the rest of them. My family didn't come from money. We ate out of the soup kitchen sometimes. I mean, like we had what we needed most of the time. And my parents each they split up 3 times, so they we didn't have we didn't live in like the ghetto or anything, but we didn't have there's a lot of emotional, mental, psychological, verbal, physical, and some sexual abuse that went on that a lot of people don't know about. A few do. Um, my sister and I both dealt with it, but it was mostly directed at me because I had, I think I mentioned before, I had 2 parents. One was a grandiose narcissist, that had been my mother, and the other was a covert narcissist, my father. Um, many people, no, some people who know me think that I idolized is the word of my father, and I've heard it from more than one person. So if it's you, and you're looking at this and you said this to me recently, it's not about you, it's about many people. What they don't understand is that he took me away from the hell of my mother, and then he turned into his own hell. And part of me wanting a place of my own was getting to a place where I had friends. And so I started going to this church where my best friend at the time was going. And she went off to college, and I stuck around there. And I realized, oh, I just do not fit in here. My parents had the occasional glass of wine. I remember my mom watching Dallas, when it was on, and we played Crazy Eights and Uno, and I think it was before Uno. I don't know. But we went to the movies. We saw Five Goes West. Like we were normal people. But for a lot of the time too, I grew up in a church called Niagara Community Church, which some really great people there too. Like the kind of people that care about whether or not you like get to church. Those kind of people. Um, and then see my mom, she went to Calvary Baptist growing up, so it was all this